Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.
I always tell my sellers, the buyers is not buying your house. The buyer is buying their house.
Good point.
From real estate
Affects the market as a whole, which then sometimes will affect the tenant.
Right. Come in.
to real life.
We all learn in different ways. If you think about it, Wayne Dyer might not attract everybody.
And everything in between.
Mission was really to help people just to reach their full potential.
The Brad Weisman Show. And now, your host, Brad Weisman.
All right, we're back. Oh, man, Hugo, it seems like forever, right?
Welcome back.
Thank you, buddy.
Say something in Irish now.
Say something in Irish now. I could say salancha, which means cheers.
There you go.
Yeah, and you're never supposed to click the glass, they say.
No, what happens?
No, you don't click the glass. They actually just kind of go like this, and they look at each other.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a
all right.
look underneath their glasses kind of a thing, But so we got a new show today, which is great. I'm excited because I'm back. Got a new show, and I'm excited about this new show because we have a guy. His name is Adam Brawer. I've been looking at his information for quite some time. They call him the spiritual realtor. Hugo and I were just talking to him, and I'm excited to have him on the show because he does stuff a little different. He's doing some things with sage where he goes through houses after they're sold and will clean out the bad energy in the air, if you want to call it that. He also has some great stories about homes that he's sold in the Los Angeles area. Also has a story about a treehouse home, which that sounds a little different when I say the word treehouse, but this thing was huge. I saw pictures of it. I saw a walkthrough. It actually burned in the fires that happened out in California. So we're going to go through that story too. But, we're going to get him on here right away. Let's talk to Adam Brawer. How you doing, Adam?
Hey, Brad, thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Good. You are the spiritual realtor. Did you know that?
I've been told.
You've been told. Yeah, because that's what I saw on your website. So somebody put that in there. I don't know,
Yeah, I like to bring spirituality into residential real estate. The home is a sacred place, and I do things a little bit differently to sanctify a home and clear the energy.
I agree with you on that. It's funny. Did you ever have somebody ask you, did somebody pass away in the house? That kind of stuff.
All the time.
Yeah. And I get it too. And it's interesting. The only time that question comes up actually is if you say, hey, by the way, it's an estate or it's in a trust or whatever. And right away, the question will come, well, did they pass in the house? So that shows you that we all care about the energy in the house. You know what I mean? We might not be superstitious. We might think it's not a big deal. Who cares? But why is it that anytime, I don't care who they are, they will ask, did they pass in the house? So if if you don't really care about that, why would you ask the question, right?
100%. It's a material fact.
Yeah. So what is that? What got you into this? Like, what got you to a point? We're going to go into so many different things with you here on the show because we got a lot of stuff we talked about before we went live. But what is the whole thing with the sage? Like, how did you get into that? Was it just to differentiate yourself, or did you really feel there's a need for that?
I definitely feel like there's a need for it, for sure. I'll tell you the genesis of this whole thing. So,
yeah.
I have a morning practice, and every morning I'll either use sage or Palo Santo. I'll burn it and I'll clean myself energetically.
Okay.
And then I'll do some breath work. I'll do some meditation. It's a nice kind of clean start to the day energetically.
Yeah.
And I also clean the energy of my home with sage regularly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I can personally, most people may not be aware of it, but they can feel an energy of a home. I've gone into spaces before and I'm like, wow, it feels really heavy, or it doesn't feel good to be in here.
Wow.
I feel worse when I come out. And so I'll always ask the owners, obviously, why are you selling? What's going on? And if there's been domestic violence, a divorce, a death, something like that,
yeah,
I employ what I call a home healer. It's somebody who comes in, who brings drums and smudges and sage and feathers. It sounds super woo-woo because of it is.
Yeah.
And they'll bang the drum and they'll walk around, and sometimes I'll walk with them and I won't tell them what happened in the house. Sometimes, especially early on, I kind of wanted to test them to see just how intuitive is this person. So I bring them in the house. We'd go room by room, and this one person specifically would say, take that statue out of this room. Take this mask out of this room. Ooh, you know, there's a lot of anger here. Da, 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 da. I'll leave them alone, depending on the size of the home, for an hour, 2 hours. I'll come back. The place feels completely different. I mean, wow. I did this in one home specifically where there was domestic violence. And I'm talking like we had to change the locks. I had to hire private security. It got lawyers involved. It was really bad.
Yeah.
And the second I walked into the home the first time, I was like, this is going to be tough to sell. This feels horrible. Like it kind of smells weird too.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know about this. I brought her in. An hour, 90 minutes later, I come back. The place feels incredible. I do an open house that weekend, and I literally had people saying, wow, the energy feels so good in here.
Oh, wow.
And I was laughing because I was like, if you were here 3 days ago.
Yeah, right. It wasn't so good.
It wasn't so good.
Yeah, it wasn't so good. That's crazy. You know, and there's something to that, you know, I think also, you know, when there's a lot of times people go into a house and they're like, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel right.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I always tell clients, I'm like, you know, we have our metrics. We know how much homes are worth based on comps, blah, blah, blah. But how do you feel in the home?
Yeah.
Like spend a little time in there. How do you feel physically? How does your body feel there? How does your nervous system feel? Do you feel calm and relaxed? Do you feel anxious? You know, the views are important. Is it surrounded by nature? Or are you in a high rise? How do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's
so
interesting.
like, you know, I always tell my sellers, the buyer is not buying your house. The buyer is buying their house.
Good point. Good point.
Let's clean the energy of the house so they're not feeling, I don't tell them this, but so they're not feeling you. Especially, you know, sometimes sellers like have a stranglehold on the property. Like if they grew up in the house, like they sometimes sabotage their own sales. And so I've done this a few times where I brought the home healer into the house to sage it. And then I realized, oh, wait, it's not the home, it's the seller. So then I'll do like a private coaching session. We can clean the seller's energy up a little bit and relax them. And it usually helps.
He just lights them up, you know, with put sage all around their head or something. I mean, actually, you could do too. You could shove sage in their pillow at night, and then that way they don't even know it's happening. You know, it's just there. But and you got to watch with fires out there where you are. You can't be burning weeds this stuff all the time. You got to be careful. You guys have an issue out there with that.
We got professionals.
Yeah, you got professionals. That's right. That's right. No, I think that's awesome, and I think there's something to that. I really do. I think there's something to that because I know that, you know, a home there's so many memories. There's so much energy in a house, you know, when it's been lived in, especially like, you know, 20, 30, 40 years. And the house takes on kind of that energy, you know, it takes on that feel. Do people look at you sometimes like you're nuts or no?
Yes. But I also I like choose what I want to share with certain people. Like, you know,
because some people are like, this dude's off his rocker, man. Oh man, that's hilarious.
In my house, I don't know. It smelled weird. I don't know what's going on with this guy.
I think he's just smoking a joint. I don't know. I don't smell any sage.
It's part of my healing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, but I'm sure some people are like, come on, you know, really, you know. But that's cool.
So people who I believe are not into it, I won't mention it.
Yeah.
But if the energy is really, really bad, I'll do it anyway in service of the sale.
Yeah.
I know it'll help them whether or not they know it.
Yeah. Now, can you smell that then when you come back in the house? Can you smell this? You can smell the sage, right?
You can, but I also I have my own brand of sage and also my own brand of candles.
Own brand of candles, you said?
Yeah, I created some custom scented candles.
Awesome.
So for the open houses, I've got the candles burning. I feel like when someone tours a house, it's a multi-sensory experience. It's not just
of course.
How does it look? How does it feel? How does it smell?
Yeah.
You know, people are, whether or not they're aware of it, you walk into a home smells bad, you're probably not getting an offer on that home.
You're right.
But you know, if the home smells incredible and the light is great and the flow's open and maybe there's a cross breeze, you know, there's a higher likely, like every little advantage why not use it?
Yeah. Did you ever find that with food, cultural food, where there's, somebody cooks in a certain way, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just their culture has food that sometimes will hang out in the house a little bit longer than it needs to. And then,
India specifically.
Yes. Curry, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's tough because if somebody comes in and doesn't like that kind of food, or even garlic can do that too.
Yes. Totally.
So it's interesting. Now, would the sage and those candles help out with neutralizing those odors?
For sure. I mean, the candle more than the sage, I would say, because usually it's burning for hours, if it's an open house. The sage will help out for sure a little bit, but sometimes the smell gets into the carpet if there's carpet. Sometimes it gets into the wall.
Yep.
So I always like to tell my sellers, let's create a completely neutral environment. Yeah. Color palettes neutral, no weird smells, no weird energies. Yeah. Like I want the buyer to project their lifestyle onto this property. Yeah. So we don't want polarizing artwork I had this seller once who I'm Jewish, I can say this. He had this weird, almost like Holocaust art. He's Jewish too. He had like weird art and like I had multiple buyers who were really offended by the art, and I told him, and he was just like, "Oh, they got bad taste." And I was like, "No, actually, you have bad taste."
Yeah, the Holocaust thing on the wall is not a good idea. Yeah, it's got to be neutral. And here, the thing I always say about that, you're selling your house, take it down. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be taking it down at some point. Just take it down. Take it down now. Why have controversy here? I just don't get it. No, I agree with you on that stuff. It's you got to be careful because some people will definitely have an issue with that. I get it. Of course.
Yes. I had a situation recently. I don't know. Do you have Trader Joe's where you are?
We do, but we don't. Not where I'm living right here in Reading, Pennsylvania, but we have them around the area. Yes. They're awesome. So
in LA, there are these huge murals inside Trader Joe's. And so I had clients do a really cute, cool mural. The woman who does those murals did their mural. She commissioned, it's really cool in her nursery. And I brought the stager in, and I always like to just hire people who are the best at what they do. Sure. I don't micromanage. I'm like, you do what you do great.
Yep.
I'm going to let you run with it. And she was like, house is great. There's this one nursery where you got like a chipmunk reading a book on a flower. It's cool, but if your buyer comes in, they don't have young kids, it rubs them the wrong way a little bit. I would recommend you paint the room. So I talked to the sellers and I was like, the new buyer is going to paint the room anyway. Let's just speed that up 30 days and let's paint it for them.
Yeah, right. How'd that go over? Did it go over well?
I mean, they agreed. We painted it. We're getting an offer in today. So
there you go. Yeah, I think. Well, and that's that coaching. That's that. I think a lot of times agents feel that because they hired us that we're supposed to be yes men. We're not. We're there to coach and to give the guidance that they came to us for. We're not going to agree with everything they say. That's not why you hired me. You don't hire somebody to say yes. You hire somebody to guide you and give the ideas that you don't have. And I think it's pretty interesting how that works. But yeah, let's go into some other topics here. I love all that stuff, though. It's really cool. Let's talk about your market. I think people are here, they're going to hear you talk about this stuff. Let's talk about what type of houses you're talking about here. This is not in our area here, this is not a $500,000 house. This is we're talking some big homes here that you're dealing with. Hey guys, I want to take a second and thank Comfort Pro. Since 2001, Comfort Pro has been helping customers stay comfortable where they live, work, and play. They have 24/7 emergency service and a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. If you need help with your heating and air conditioning or indoor air quality, call Comfort Pro at 484-917-1803. Mention the show and receive a free humidifier with the installation of a complete system.
Totally. So I do like full spectrum. I'll do $1 million starter homes in LA. That's a starter home.
Which is funny. That's a top price for us.
LA's a crazy market.
Yep. It's amazing. So you do $1 million starter homes. Okay. And
I do $50 million ender homes.
Wow. Amazing.
So full spectrum. I personally like, the $25, $50 million homes. there are very few buyers for those homes.
Yeah.
They're also the most expensive homes to market. They're also the most fun homes to market.
Yeah.
They also take a lot of time. So I like to, have kind of a portfolio of listings where it's like I've got a bunch of, starter homes. I've got some, medium end luxury homes. I've got some high end luxury homes. But my background's in entertainment, so I have a lot of entertainment clients, celebrity clients, and on the higher end, those are a lot of people who I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Do you ever feel intimidated by some of those people that are like? Do you ever get that intimidation feeling at all by some of these higher end? They're billionaires or whatever they are. That's a different clientele. Very
different. I mean, when I first started dealing with that kind of clientele, definitely was nervous.
Yeah.
And I was more subservient.
Ah, interesting.
Now I'm just kind of like, listen, I'm great at what I do. I know it.
Yeah.
And so I meet them kind of on that level and get more respect, I think, because of it.
Yeah. Well, and you've been doing it. And I've seen your videos and stuff. It's amazing in what you're doing. Let's talk about, so there is a house that you have that's listed for $50 million. How do you price that? I mean, how do you sit there and go, okay, this is worth $50 million? Because there's no other house that's like that anywhere. It's its own thing. That's got to be tough.
So it's a unicorn property. It's an Andalusian style palace. It's on 3.6 acres, 9 bed, 18 bath, 21,000 square feet with the best pool probably in America.
No
Mansion
way.
Global is actually doing an article this week on this property and the pool as the best pool in America.
Wow.
It's got a waiting pool that opens up, goes past 3 massive waterfalls, a grotto, a hot tub, into a lazy river, past a massive water slide, past a koi pond, under 2 bridges, into an infinity pool.
Okay, we call those water parks. We call those water parks in our area.
Yeah.
Do they give you like an inner tube? The guy like tells you when to go and all that. You know what I mean? Is that kind of that is crazy. That's crazy.
It's almost a football field long.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. But that's the kind of stuff that you see. That's another question. I got a question for you. Do you still do these homes still impress you? Like, do you 100%. Still get in a home and go, holy crap, I've never seen that before?
Yeah. I mean, it brings a smile to my face.
Yeah. It makes me just laugh talking about it. Yeah.
Just like, what? It's kind of like.
Yeah. Because somebody thought of it, but it's not just the thought. Somebody actually paid to have it done, which is incredible. Yeah.
The architect is Richard Landry. He did Mark Wahlberg's place out here, Kardashians, Dr. Dre. He's known as the king of the mega mansion.
Wow.
So he's done in Europe, in Asia. He did, I don't know what the price was, but it's for one of the wealthiest families in China. And it looks like Versailles. It's like, it's an unbelievable.
Yeah.
Build. And so, it blew my mind when I first saw it. I was just, the views alone are like spellbinding. You can see from downtown all the way into the ocean.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now I got a question. So the buyer's a different buyer, the seller's a different seller in that price range. They're both thinking they are better than the other, probably. I would think, right? And because if you have that kind of money, it's a different ballgame, and you're going to have, it's going to be pulling your zipper down and showing whose is bigger, and that kind of a thing. And so, how do you? Now, typically, they're working with a buyer agent, correct?
Yeah, at that level, like almost 100%.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Even if they call me directly, and I tour it for them directly.
Yeah,
I've never had a situation where they're like, "Hey, could you represent me?"
Yeah,
it's usually like I'll tour it for them. There's no agent, no mention of an agent, and then if they like it, they're like, "Okay, my agent will be in touch."
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Like, an agent? I was like,
yeah, that's weird. You never mentioned that before. I just spent 4 hours touring the house with you. Yeah, no. So it basically, you have the same situation we get. But going back to, so that must be very difficult. Now, is there then attorneys involved? Of course.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
So there are attorneys involved. Totally. Depends on, when I got this listing, I told the seller, I said, listen, this is a unicorn property, very, very specific. And what I did is I actually I was like, these are the buyer archetypes, the kinds of buyers I think who would purchase this home. I think it could be a foreign family, multi-generational that wants to live under one roof.
Yeah.
Could be Asian, Middle Eastern, high likelihood, especially with the architecture, maybe Russian. Could be, someone like a tech billionaire who had a massive exit, could be an entertainment, not very few celebrities can afford this home.
Isn't that funny? So even celebrities at 50, so 50 million is definitely like a whole different level than like 10 million or 15 million. That's a different level.
Different level, because it's like, how many buyers are there for this?
Yeah.
And so, one thing that I've done marketing wise, it's called geo-fencing. I've drawn digital fences around like the top 10 private airports in the world and certain businesses. So
Smart.
anyone who's flying private, they get a cookie on their phone, they get my ad. Oh, then I get a phone call.
Yeah.
And they happen to have vision, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah. But that's okay. You're there to cause the property to sell. Period. I mean, that's what it's about. Whether or not it's your buyer or not. And in those homes, I would think even if you wouldn't want to represent that person, because that's, to me, would be a legal nightmare.
Yeah, major conflict.
Yeah,
It's funny because the seller on that property is actually like, he's okay with it as long as there's a reduction in commission, of course.
Sure, of course, yeah. Which is okay. Which is okay. Yeah, it's crazy. And then you were saying too, like the amount of marketing that you have to do. I mean, you're advertising to other countries. You're not just advertising to the market around there. You're advertising to other countries. And that's the thing that blows my mind with that. You've got to be in the top magazines. You've got to be everywhere.
You got to be everywhere. It's beyond MLS ads, I did a thing at Formula One in Miami, I feel like digital is probably ad dollars better spent because it's trackable at least.
Yeah.
So I do magazine ads also.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had great success with magazine ads, but I do it because,
it's for the seller, not for you.
For the seller. Yeah, exactly. And then I can be like,
isn't it? Yes, exactly. It's still the same. Nothing has changed. It's just funny because it's really for the seller to see their home. And I get that. And then every once in a while, somebody could be on a plane somewhere looking at the American Airlines magazine and there's the house. Who knows? You don't know. It could happen,
I always like to say, like, all right, how many arrows do we have in the quiver? And let's shoot all of them.
Yeah.
Within reason. Yeah. And see what sticks.
Well, let's put the net out big. Put that net out as big as you can. Almost knocked something off my table here. That was close. But yeah, so let's go on. The other thing that you told me about just before we went live is you're selling an island. Hugo, did you hear that?
I
selling
did, yeah.
Island.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, this is interesting. I got to say, I don't think I've ever met anybody that was selling an island. What's the price of the island?
Do you want to? Let me tell you about the island, and why don't you guess?
Oh, build up the value first, and then we'll talk about the price. That sounds good. I got that. Go ahead. Tell me about this island.
So it's on a protected atoll in French Polynesia. The island's called Motu Fara. So one thing that separates this island from almost any other island in the world is that it's only so on the adjoining island is an international airport called Rangiroa Airport. It's on the Rangiroa Atoll. So this island is a 3-minute boat ride and a 7-minute car ride from that tarmac. So 10 minutes from touchdown onto your own private dock on your own island.
But so there's a bridge that goes to it, because you said a car. Are you talking it's a ferry that takes you?
So yeah, well, the island comes with a boat. It's called a panga. So it's a motorized boat.
Pretty funny.
It's got a staff of 6 and a chef. He's not a Michelin-starred chef, but he worked at a Michelin-starred restaurant in Paris.
We'll let that slide.
What's that?
I said we'll let that slide.
He's well pedigreed.
Holy crap.
So it's a 3-minute boat ride from Motu Fara to Rangiroa, and then like 7 minutes from the in car from the tarmac on Rangiroa to the dock.
Wow.
8 hours, 15 minutes direct from LA. The island is about 4 acres, 2 homes, 2 pools, a bungalow for the staff, fully turnkey, solar powered, rain recapture system.
Yeah, so what about electric? Is it all solar?
It's solar, but then there's also electric as well. The solar was installed, I want to say, the major upgrade renovation in 2023. Major. There's a boathouse as well. And what do you think something like that might cost?
Oh my gosh. Well, the last time I did a market analysis on an island was a while ago. But no, I think that's in the same range as that $50 million house. It has to be like 50 million, 75 million. I mean, I don't even know.
Believe it or not, for only 15 million euros.
Wow. So it's about 20 some American, maybe.
Yep. A little bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's a great deal. Most of the island is about a meter above sea level. So that's nice.
Yeah. What about, what the hurricanes come there or typhoons or anything like that?
In the last 20 years, there's been one tsunami that had very minimal, like very, very minimal. So in terms of weather, it's great. It's also a great income property. So it's currently being short-term rented. And one thing that I didn't know, in France, they have different types of lending products, and they have a lending product. I can't talk specifics because I don't fully understand it, but my understanding is, if you were to put 50% down and 50% loan, there's a way for this loan, like you put a certain amount into the loan, which appreciates over time. And it's way better than any product I've heard of in the States.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And you got brought in on this because you're not a realtor in France. So you got brought in from another agent in France that saw what you were doing in California and decided to bring you on. I think that was smart on his part.
It was a blessing on my part, I'll tell you. I mean, he discovered me. I think he saw my website and then checked me out on Instagram. And it was one of those Instagram DMs where I was like, is this guy for real?
Yeah.
You're selling an island?
Yeah. And no, yeah. Well, I would be like, okay, yeah, this is definitely some kind of spam. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, my aunt died. We're looking for a person to give the money to so we can send it to Russia. You know what I mean? Those things there are definitely never true, obviously. But so the island thing. So what have you noticed about selling an island? It's a little different. I mean, this is a very different thing.
Very different. Very challenging, honestly. Not a lot of people. I mean, an island is not a necessity. Nobody needs to buy an island. So this is the type of trophy property that masters of the universe purchase.
Yes.
And so how do you reach those masters of the universe? Private aviation is one way.
Yep.
I recently joined Realm Global, which is an international collective of luxury agents. I've noticed that. I mean, the strategy has been essentially, not only is it an amazing forever vacation or vacation home for a family that lives in the US or maybe Australia, it's a great income. It's actually like a legitimately great income property.
I was going to ask that. I mean, you're allowed to rent it out, right? It's not like, well, it's your island, so I guess you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, but you can rent it out. And so when you're not there, it could be Airbnb or whatever. Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's being rented out currently. And after the upgrades at a nice premium. So if someone wanted to buy, if anyone's looking for an island, I got a guy.
That's you are the guy. You are the guy for islands. So let's just talk before we wrap this up here. We talked about your island, which was really cool. That was a big thing. I've never talked about selling an island before, so that was cool. Let's talk about the tree. I saw that this tree house home, whatever you call it, that was on one of your YouTube things, I think, or whatever. I saw it in there, and the house was just amazing, spectacular. It was so unique, and each room had like open like walls, windows, whatever. Spectacular. I started talking to you about this before we went live, and I wanted to just have you talk about the house and then talk about what happened.
Yeah, so incredibly special house. My clients bought it before I knew them, about 6 years ago. Long celebrity history of the house. So it was cool. Olivia Newton-John's house, then it was Sally Field's house, then it was the CEO of MySpace's house, then it was James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. He runs DC Comics.
Yep.
And then they bought it from him, and it was like an English country home on a little over 3 acres, amazing views, protected, equestrian, like stables, like really cool property. But it was an English country home that was dated. And so their vision initially, they came in, they brought in this interior designer, really talented guy, Ryan White, and to buy like some custom furniture. And as they were talking, and Ryan's a great salesman, the project went from like custom furniture to like, let's customize this room. Let's, instead of a couch, let's do a built-in cuddle puddle couch for 40 people.
I saw that.
Open this. So the whole thing transformed. It turned into a down to the absolute studs, complete renovation. They flew in a team from Belgium to do like a Belgian plaster job on the wall. I don't know what the price per square foot was, but I for real, it was like $1,500.
Oh my gosh.
It was the finest. It was called like Calcutta Palazzo Extra Stone. They had like shower chambers built with like Juliet balconies. So we flew a drone through the shower into the house.
I saw it. Amazing marketing. Keep going. Amazing marketing.
So we got into Architectural Digest. A lot of excited people got it into escrow. And I think it was January 9th, the house burned. And when I say it burned, I don't know what the temperature was. I've walked it since. We're about to do another YouTube video of like the before and after. And it incinerated. I'm talking like the steel was twisted and melted. The only thing left was this like ceramic fireplace. Everything else just completely vaporized.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Was that during the fires, the big fires that went through, or was that a separate fire?
This was the Palisades fire, which I believe started like January 7th. Then I think January 8th. It was Tuesday.
Unbelievable.
And I think it burned on Wednesday. You know, we all got. I was in Spain. I was evacuated. They got evacuated. I mean, the fire was nowhere near that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it just the gusts. I don't know if it was like 70 miles an hour. Yep. It was insane.
Yeah, I saw a lot of it on the news. You have a 70-mile-an-hour wind with fire. I mean, it's just devastating. And then you have all that timber, you have all that, you don't have a chance. You really don't. That's an amazing story. And it's interesting because I just started talking about that house and then you're like, it's gone. So, and you said that they're looking to rebuild, right?
They're looking to rebuild. Yep. They've already hired, all the people. I don't know if they're doing the same plan or they're doing something else.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. And it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
But
it's a shame.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah,
it's a shame. It's a shame. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we end this? I just think it was great. Well, you have a question.
I have a question.
You got a question? What's your question?
What are some of the strangest stories that you have?
You had some strange stories
in this endeavor.
Yes, give us a couple of those.
I'll give you. Start off with this one. So I used to be in entertainment. Friend of mine, talent manager, calls me. This was like probably 5 years ago. Says, listen, I've got a friend of mine, this rock star. He's looking to sell his house in the valley. It's on 2 acres. Are you interested? Of course I'm interested.
Yeah.
So I drive up there. It's like 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. I get there a few minutes early. Delivery driver is like dropping off cases. And unnamed rock star comes out. He's got like purple hair, blue hair or something. And he's like, oh, hey, are you Adam? I'm like, yeah. He's like, opens up one of the boxes. It's vodka. He's like, you want one? And I was like, who am I to deny this man a gift? Yeah, give me some vodka.
Of course, yes.
Put it in the car, get inside. My friend's there. They open the vodka and start pouring vodka and orange juices. And, he's like, you want one? And I was like, of course I don't. It's 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, but sure.
It's like a morning drink. I mean, come on, it's orange juice. I mean, come on.
It's like, come on, let's be classy, guys. So, he's getting wasted. We're touring the property.
Oh my gosh.
It's in like a little disarray, but it's a very cool, huge lot. And as we're touring, he's telling me some wild stories and like wild partying stories. And at the end of the tour, he's like, I'd love to show you my favorite room in the house. Do you have a few more minutes? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I haven't even shown him like a listing presentation book or anything. So he takes out a special set of keys.
Oh boy.
Puts it into this big lock. He opens the door and there's red quilted leather all over the walls. There's a swing hanging from the ceiling. And
oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
And he's like, this is where I have my fun. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, okay. He's like, actually, I want to show you this video.
What?
Starts playing a video. I'm not going to say what was on this video because it's a wild video.
It's a wild
As he's
video.
showing me this video.
It's not Disney, is what you're saying.
That's definitely not Disney. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not G or PG. All of a sudden, the door bursts open and 3 big guys step in. And my friend, the manager, his jaw kind of drops, and I'm just like, "Who are these guys?" They grab said rock star like by the arms, and they like leave out the room. And my friend's like, he's like, "I'll be right back." And I was like, "Okay." He leaves, and I'm like, "I don't want to be in this dungeon."
No.
So I try to open the door, but it's locked.
Oh,
The
geez.
dungeon's locked. So I'm locked in a dungeon, and I look up, and there's a camera that's on me in the dungeon. And I'm like, am I going to be part of a video in here? A minute passes.
Am I going to be on the news
2
tomorrow?
minutes. There are no windows in this dungeon. And I'm just like, I really want to get out of this dungeon. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
the door opens. My friend's like, let's go. He's like, you want sushi? I was like, yeah, I'll have sushi.
That was it?
I'm like, what the hell is going on? He's like, well, so his bandmates knew that he had this listing appointment at 10 a.m. So they staged an intervention at 10:30 because they knew he'd be in the home.
No.
They're bringing him to rehab.
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh. So you were in the middle of the intervention
I was in the middle of an intervention.
with the case of vodka.
Funny.
Well, hey, you know what? You helped him. You took a bottle. You were part of the intervention. You took a bottle. That was very nice of you to not let him have that. Oh my gosh, dude, that's a great story. That's a great story. I love it. So you probably have many. We got to get you back on just to talk about more stories.
Adventures in real estate.
Unbelievable. So tell me how people get in touch with you out there, in California, and like phone number. Is it email? I mean, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Email adam@adambrowerstates.com. Instagram @Adam Brawer, Brawer. If somebody wants to reach out direct, 310-279-8259.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks so much for being on. What a blast. That was a good over 30 minutes, believe it or not. And that was a lot of fun. So thanks for being on. We will talk to you real soon. All right. All right. Thanks, man. So there you go. Adam Brawer. That was a great show. What do you think, Hugo?
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, the spiritual realtor, we learned a lot from him. We learned about saging a house. We learned about all kinds of stuff. And then the story at the end was pretty amazing. All right. That's about it. We will see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us again. All right. Hey guys, if you're looking to buy or sell a house in Berks County or beyond, let me know. This is Brad Weisman from The Brad Weisman Show. You probably know I'm also a realtor, but I wanted to remind you, if you have any questions or you need anything, please give me a call, 484-256-5836. Thanks.